Hi, this is Coach Tom Callos, part of the community team coach for the Ultimate Black Belt Test 2018. I want to ask you a question now. How many articulate and interesting, introspective, communicative posts have you made online about your work in the community you live in the last 7 to 10 days? 0, 1, 2, 3. Part of the new kind of marketing that we do, well, it's called truth, honesty, and transparency. And so if you wonder why people don't come to you ready to enroll, if you wonder why the industry is dealing with a plethora of gimmicky, low-lying fruit kind of marketing, if you wonder why people don't appreciate you and your work for what it is, a lot of that comes or stems from you simply failing to speak up, to be heard, to communicate what it is you do and all of its subtleties around food and attitude and exercise and brain development and stress release and self-defense and bully prevention and just about anything you think sits in the periphery of our training, things that we develop when we teach people martial arts, but that often go unspoken. Whose fault is that? Your fault. As a master teacher, not only do you have to try to live as an example of what the training's about, stay in shape, have a good attitude, be proactive, and, be a high-functioning human being, but you're also supposed to be able to talk about and illustrate your work in a way that doesn't have you resorting to giving 2-for-1 specials or special credit card deals or, birthday parties. I mean, all of those things might be something you do. It's up to you. But your school and your work should really be driven by clear discussion, clear communication, a clear showing of your work. And that's not very common. In fact, it's very uncommon in our world. So when I work with you, step number 1 is not to get you to increase your flyer distribution and do more Facebook advertising and offer more specials and do more birthday parties and open houses and all these things that are so common in our world, and many of them have some value. My first step is to say, well, what do you do and what do you bring to the game? Do you have any proof? Can you show me? Let's start articulating what it is you do. If you want to own something in your community, and ownership is when you become synonymous with it, be it self-defense or bully prevention or the best martial arts or whatever it is, it behooves you to communicate this idea and to own the words involved with it on the web, because that's where everybody's going to find you. If they don't drive by your school or hear from word of mouth, they're going to meet you in some way. And if they meet you in person, they're going to go check up on you on the web to see what information you have out there. And it's a really smart, proactive, intelligent thing to be able to describe what you do in a way that reaches the broadest audience possible and truthfully. Not you borrowing what other people say about their work, but you being able to define your own work and profoundly. And you say, oh, I'm not a good communicator. I don't write. I don't understand the internet. Listen, if you learn the martial arts and you're a master teacher, then you can do this too. And do you know who benefits the most when you learn how to talk about your work? You do. You start to develop the brain power and the vocabulary that stops people from ignoring and has a much higher chance of reaching them viscerally, chicken skin, getting them to realize, I get what this guy does. I understand it. They don't get that through psychic transmission from you to your community. It's communication. So ask yourself in the last 5, 10, 15, 30 days, how well have you done this on a scale from 1 to 10? Part of my work is to get you to transparently practice with me. And I understand you might not be good making videos or talking about your work, and especially writing about it when you first start. But you didn't know how to throw kicks, punches, or grapple when you first started either. So you can develop it. And I think it's hugely profitable for your school. It's profitable for your intellect. It's profitable for what you then pass on to your students. I hope you're listening, and I hope I can help you. And, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. I can tell you that you need to be a better communicator and that it could greatly benefit your school. But it's not going to do anything until you start practicing it. And if you want feedback from me, you have to share it with me. And I'll give you my candid feedback, and I'll help you get better at your game. I'm Tom Callos. I'm at 530-903-0286. You can find me at tomcallos.com.